Welcome to our live stream. We're Avaloq, or we work for Avaloq. My name is Christoph. I work in digital transformation in the consultancy division here at Avaloq in Zurich.
My name is Alexander Chergi. I work also here in Zurich with Christoph in my team, and this is...
I am Michelle. I work in the talent acquisition team since more or less 2 years, and I help both of them to find the best talents, or I try to, at least.
That's true, yeah. So Christoph and me are working in the digital transformation team. I've been working in Luxembourg for 1 year, and now I work for 1 year inside of Zurich. So also to showcase you that you can also move inside of Avaloq in different international locations.
Yeah, so great. So the topic that you selected for today was, I guess, a day in the life of an Avaloq analyst, engineer, and consultant. And we'll try to answer as best as possible. Obviously, we both come from consultancy, but our path to consultancy has led us through all those other areas. So we'll jump right into it. And I guess we'll start with a short presentation. I will share my screen. Yes. Excellent. All right, here we go. Here we go. So who we are and what we do. We are a fintech based out of Switzerland with a growing international network of branches in various locations. We have 22 branches currently and over 2,000 employees. We're a leader in core banking, software, digital banking, and digital wealth management. Sorry, I'm losing. My screen keeps on fading away. And we're obviously known for our on-premise software, but we're also extremely fast growing in the areas of SaaS and BPaaS. So in software as a service, we actually host the entire IT for a bank, and in BPaaS, so business process as a service, we take their business processes and also run the bank basically for our customers and wealth managers. So we have over 150 clients with over 4.5 trillion in assets managed by our software. So what is actually core banking? Core banking is anything related with bank transactions, so paying bills, credit cards, mortgages, loans, and yeah, what Avaloq does is makes all your information available in all the different channels. So online, mobile banking, ATM machines when you take money out of your account. So why you are able to debit money anywhere in the world from your account. That's our software that enables this. And of course, also when you're standing in a branch office in front of a teller, they're also using our software to do whatever transaction you want to do. And below we have some technology partners of us. Fantastic. So let's move on. Or do you have anything to add, my friends?
No.
Okay. So yeah, day in the life of the three roles that we basically want to go through today. So the business analyst obviously defines what should be built or needs to be built. They're often responding to regulatory requirements that the market or the government is giving us. So right now the hot topic is PSD2, basically opening up your previously private bank information.
No, only if you're in Europe, actually.
Only in Europe. Well, yeah. I guess. I mean, Switzerland will come later, but in Europe, it's actually the law. And I guess this year is it this year?
This year. Yeah.
Okay, and Switzerland might be 1 or 2 years behind, but basically exposing your bank data to third-party vendors so that they can build exciting apps with your bank data. So if you're thinking about forecasting like what you're spending, they can maybe develop something really exciting and then use your bank data to enrich that. The engineer, they build the software, so they're in charge. They're driven by the roadmap, so usually that's clearly defined. We have web, mobile, banking, and also the FAT client that runs on a desktop machine. Basically, they're maintaining this, they're adding new features, they're working with customers, listening to the business analyst who's saying, hey, by the way, we also have to build this and how we're going to build this. So the business analyst works extremely close together with the engineers. We also like to have technical people as business analysts because then they can also write the test cases and just work better with the engineering team. If they have an idea of how it should be built, then Obviously, the engineer is much easier time, and the consultant, at the end of the day, we implement. So we are the ones at the customer. We follow the project from end to end. So we deploy the software, we configure it, and we cut over, go live with the software. So basically, the engineer, they build something for a lot of customers, and the consultant, he then customizes it or specializes this product for one bank specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, on top of that, in order to become a consultant, it's not just the implementation that's important, but also having a discussion with the client, understanding their needs, the pain points, and alleviate them. So we take the product and we make something unique for each customer, understanding their own needs. But we can get on that later on the question part. Yep.
Yeah, I think I already saw some questions. They're great. I mean, maybe just shortly, if you're wondering what do we actually develop in, it's mostly Java, also PLSQL. What
Next
Alex
slide,
is
or
making?
yeah,
No, the next slide is then. This is our discussion. This is where we're going to go into.
But they're not seeing us actually, so they'll listen.
Yeah. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. I will now switch back to our faces. I didn't know what slide I thought you were telling me to next slide. It's like, no, we're going to spend some time here. Yeah,
I was doing this sign, and okay. So you can see our faces, and you can see that it's not.
Now you can see our hand movements.
Exactly.
And, totally sorry about that.
Yeah. So back to
our technologies.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the engineers. I mean, we have. I mean, obviously, it's our company is quite old, 25 years. So we've been in the market a long time. We've built a proprietary software language, which is basically based on PLSQL. But we do.
Coming from?
No, we'll cut that out and post
Okay,
that. But basically, I mean, it's a lot of Java, it's a lot of PLSQL, and configuring the product. I mean, the product. We deliver the product basically turnkey. I mean, we provide like a model bank that already gives them all the stuff that, I mean, a lot of the stuff they need, obviously, like list of countries, currencies, and then we customize it so that, it fits to the bank. But I mean, what's really important is, I mean, we do core banking. So our goal is to alleviate the pain of running a bank so that the bank can actually focus on adding value and adding digital services, because I mean, banking is a commodity. I mean, in the old days, having a web banking or mobile banking, that used to be like a USP. It's like, hey, come to our bank. We have mobile banking. Nowadays, you cannot distinguish with any core banking features. That's why Avaloq is so great, because we can take care of all of that. We can provide you the software, we can host the software, and we can also run the software for you.
On a business level, it's also interesting because if you're a bank and you want to provide your own core technology, it costs a lot of money to have engineers building it up from the ground. So we are providing to all the banks the basic bricks so they can build it on top. And when there is regulation coming, they don't need to reinvent the wheel. We are also taking care. We discussed about the PSD2 regulation for Europe, which is very, very important. It's as a regulation, it's something that's the law push it down, and all our customers don't need to panic and to see if there are engineers inside of their own company that are building it. So on that side, we are offering the bank flexibility to adapt to market and to concentrate only on their business.
Yeah, and if you're a BPaaS or SaaS customer, then all these regulatory upgrades, they're all included in your service pricing. So if you're an on-premise customer, you'll have to do the customization yourself or pay us to do it for you. But if you're totally hosted by us in SaaS and BPaaS, then you actually get all of this as it becomes relevant for your.
So Christoph, as a consultant, do you need to understand banking, or do you need to understand only IT at the end of the day?
Okay, so my career started a bit different. I mean, I started as an engineer. I worked 5 years lead developer in financial market data software. But my opinion is we'd rather hire the technical people and let them learn the banking stuff than the other way around. Like if you're just a business guy coming in and trying to then develop software, you can imagine that could be
the other way around is way harder.
Yes, I would assume it would be easier. And that, I mean, one of the questions, and maybe not get into that quite yet, but obviously one of the questions was like, how do we help educate recent graduates and whatnot? I mean, it's very exciting. Alex and I, we actually started on the first day, and you spend the first month when you join Avaloq. You spend the first month in the Avaloq Academy, which is like an actual academy that we built, and
Did you learn a lot?
I did. It really feels like college. It really. We have fraternities. No, we don't. But it's very exciting because you don't just start a job. You don't get your desk and then you're already right into it, or you're not really into it in any job. I mean, but here it's like you spend the first month in training, and then you take an exam, and then you're ACP certified. And I mean, it totally blew my mind because I came here. Usually, it's hard for companies to get them to pay for education or anything,
and get you up and running fast, right?
Yeah, and then here I come, and I mean the certification costs like 24,000. We did an additional certification on top for 12,000. So, and this is still in the probation period.
Yeah.
So at any time I can just walk out. Obviously, please don't. If you apply for Avaloq, don't do this. Don't abuse this fantastic generosity.
Yeah.
But
So
to me, it was very. I found it very.
So basically, you're getting paid your salary for the first month. You go to the academic course where you learn the basic of ACP. Somebody asked in the question, what is Avaloq script? I mean, this is the PL/SQL superset that we are using on top. And it also creates a lot of links inside of the company. You see people that are from consulting, people who are product line manager, and it creates very good links between people. So with Christoph, I think, we started to have a good link at that moment.
Yes, we worked out quite well, yeah. So let's jump right into the questions because we're starting answering the questions. We obviously saw the questions, trying to make this more spontaneous. Okay, so the first question. What is the range of different projects that Avaloq consultants work on? Well, that's actually hilarious because it's whatever you want it to be. And it's true. I mean, usually, anything banking related, obviously. But I mean, my last project was getting a customer lifecycle management software working on a tablet. It was the first project of this kind that we did outside of Avaloq. So Avaloq, Horizon, Raiffeisenbank was the first one to actually have it. But that was basically an internal effort. And then this was the first customer outside of Avaloq, outside of Horizon, that wanted this solution. And then they wanted it to run on a tablet, which we also hadn't done yet, this particular software. And it had to run on a terrible browser called Citrix Secure Web Browser, which on an iPad only provides JavaScript core support. So you can imagine, JavaScript from 12 years ago will run beautifully on it, but modern stuff, not so much. So a lot of time was spent making it cross-browser compatible. The customer actually, as a consultant, I do whatever the customer tells me to do. So I also did a lot of styling JavaScript, also writing the whole Avaloq code, parameterizing it, and also the release management. So the Jenkins build jobs and getting the whole deployment, really end to end, getting the product deployed to production.
And on top of that, you're also discussing with the clients and understanding where the project is going, right?
And also security. Banking, obviously security is super important. I worked 2 years in IT security. So, as a consultant, you basically take all the things that you learned in your career and you just kind of do it. And I think, what?
No, that's true.
Thank you. No trademark infringements. No. But from like the traditional Avaloq scripting to the whole release management part, the styling, JavaScripting, and also, after the bank was already live, they called me up and said, "Hey, Chris, can you come by and do some JMeter tests for us?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." For me, you build up a relationship with the customer, you build up a relationship with the bank, and they just come to you with anything bank related.
So
other projects are, right now, again, the CLM project. I also worked on the Crypto Hub initiative here at Avaloq, so building API endpoints to talk with Metako. Metako is our cold wallet solution that we use, a hardware solution. So building APIs between our banking system and the cold wallet solution. And we'll see what comes next. Right now, CLM, release upgrade, there's definitely a lot of work to be done.
So we work on
people like you.
Yeah, so we work on front projects, background projects, services as well, and SaaS, so software as a service. So whatever will pop up next on the regulation or on the web, or also dealing with mobile, we're looking for extremely talented people that are engineers, and then they will learn some skills from us in the banking industry. Next question.
All right, next question. Does Avaloq work with fintech startups? Yes, extensively. There used to be on our homepage actually a list. There's still a list. And maybe I'll share the screen later. But there's over 100 that we work with. yeah, it's huge. We have a developer.avaloq.com website where you can sign up and get access to our API. Well, you get access to our JavaScript framework, which is changing. So please, maybe don't invest too much time in that. We're going native Angular, so it's much easier. We built like a framework on top of Angular. Now we'll just be native Angular. You can see, I guess, some of the FTK examples. Then, but what's more exciting, that's pretty new, we have Avaloq.1. So Avaloq.1 in your browser. You can actually sign up for a sandbox that gives you like a full model bank and all the REST API endpoints that you can then use and test your software again. So if you're thinking about, hey, I want to build this really cool software and integrate it with your banking core software, then you can just sign up. Obviously, if you want to do this, like, please contact us because I think it's probably preferred that it's customers or consultants, external partners of ours. But if you're really interested and you have a cool project, then we definitely want to support you, and we'll make sure that you get one of these sandboxes. And then there's also the software exchange where you see all the different adapters that Avaloq has built or our partners have built with Avaloq. And there's also over 100, I think, if I count. It's just extensive. So yes, extremely fintech positive. We love working with you, and we provide you with sandboxes and anything you want.
Michelle, what about hackathons, students, or future fintechs?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So not this year, but last year we also participated in Hack Zurich. So we also tried to give you the chance to meet us and work with us together, yeah, side by side. Also next year we have planned to participate again. So you should definitely sign up and hand in your application at Hack Zurich, and then hopefully sign up for our challenge.
Yes.
I mean, a year
I think we
ago
had the best prize actually.
Yes.
People were shocked because we gave the most money out, and they were like, "Oh my God!" And only 3 entries, so it was like an easy win. So if you love banking and you like money, maybe. And plus, no, that was horrible. That was terrible.
No,
we're cutting that out.
But we did a crypto challenge, and yeah, the prize was also cryptocurrency because we thought, you know, it's matching.
Yeah, it's
so
yes.
yeah, we don't know yet what we'll do next year. We're still brainstorming, right? And actually, these 2 guys here will also be present, I hope. I'm still trying to convince them, but
yes,
you are invited.
Okay.
So yeah, you can meet us there as well, and yeah, we hope to see you there.
All right, next question.
Should I take this one? What is the difference between consulting at Avaloq?
Okay, I'll give you this one because mine might be a bit biased.
Thank you so much.
We're not fist bumping on the stream. Why? You made me do this. Okay, next.
So what is the difference between consulting at Avaloq and classic management consulting? So let's go a little bit about what's consulting. Consulting is when you're an expert in a domain and you go to see some potential client and selling your expertise. So in Avaloq, what we do is we sell our expertise on products and services from Avaloq. So we go see banks in general and tell them you have this problem, and usually in the Big Four they will say you have this problem and you have 5 or 6 delivery solutions. We actually come and say you have this problem and we have those solutions, and we also deliver that. So rather than just present a nice PowerPoint, we also are experts in technical experts. No, but really. Recently, we went with Christoph to meeting with a big bank in the north of Europe, and they were quite amazed by saying, "Oh, you guys are not just consulting with a nice PowerPoint. You really understand our problematics and find solution on the spot, not in 3 weeks when you're going to go back." So everybody, for example, my team needs to be an engineer to understand what we are talking about, also understand our products and services. So when we are going to a client, we don't freeze. We don't necessarily have all the responses, but the hard ones, we come back, and one day afterwards, we provide a response. But most of the technical problems, we've already seen them, and we do it. So the difference in a short way is we provide added value for the client on the spot. We provide added value with products and services from Avaloq. And of course, we don't provide products and services from concurrents. So that's...
Yeah, it's way more technical because
it's way more technical,
we are the ones at the customer, and then it's pretty awkward when you're the one at midnight that has to get the bank online, and you're like, oh no, let me show you my PowerPoints. That's not going to work. It's really end-to-end responsibility for the delivery and go live of a project. So I actually don't like the term consultant because it's super vague. It could be like, what are you, project manager?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be anything. So I prefer like field engineer, and I think definitely at Avaloq, you're a technical guy and you like doing different things a lot, because I mean, if you work
can
in our
handle customers.
But you have to talk to
or learn to
customers.
customer. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, you can be work in engineering. You know, you have a roadmap. You work here in Monac in Zurich on a daily basis. If you're in consulting, then you're. I mean, if I'm in the office, I'm doing something wrong. I need to be at the customer, earning money for the company, and also adding value.
Also for the
adding value.
customer, but
Also for the
mainly for us.
But I mean, that's the main difference. I mean, if you love doing different things, and like for me, I hate doing the same thing over and over again. So consulting is great. One day I'm doing styling, one day I'm doing core parameterization or JMeter scripts, whatever the customer comes up
What
with.
about traveling? Do you travel a lot, or is it okay with your
It
life?
depends. I mean, when I have customers in Switzerland, it's fantastic. I love it.
You could have done with traveling, huh? So.
I love
personal
traveling.
note,
I love traveling when there's a direct flight. When I have to go to Frankfurt and wait 2 hours, I'm a bit. But it's fine. We do it. We love it.
But you're also in Scotland a lot.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that, but yeah, we're lots
in the north.
UK,
We
the
do
north
in
of Europe,
in APAC. So we travel, but we also make it. We won't, for example, I will not send Christoph every day to go in another location. We discuss about it. Do you want to go there? Is it an added value for showing up to the customer? Can we do it with a webcam or with a video call? And of course, it's always important to have this physical contact with the customer in order to gain trust. So basically, technical people, you want to do things that are getting you out of your comfort zone, new things that are probably not on the market. It excites you. That's also super important. And also you're able to discuss with the customer. I think that sums up.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, banking is kind of, I mean, stale, we could say. So if you're a creative guy, then this is fantastic because no one will stop you here. It's really, you want to do something? Great.
Go
do
ahead.
it. Yeah, go ahead. It's I really like working here. I mean, we've both been here 2 years. You've been here how long? 2 years as well?
Also, I've been more 2 years, and it's a general also a company culture. I mean, I
I
work in
love
HR, so I can't really
yeah.
say a lot that will interest you guys, but I can also say that we have this approach in HR that really, if we want to do a project, we're
open
just
communications, flat hierarchies, all of that. So next question. You are your customers in your consulting business? Is it only banks? Well, actually, well, I mean,
any financial service, I guess.
Any financial service, wealth management. So a big thing that I do is I work on the financial intermediate workplace. Sorry, it used to be called From Workplace. That is basically a back office tool that you can expose on the web, and then external asset managers for a bank can log in and then handle the portfolio of their client who has an account at that bank. So, I mean, I guess to answer your question, not just banks, it's any financial service. It's anything to do with wealth management, really. I mean, most of our customers are private banks. We don't do many retail banks because retail banks are usually huge and have their own core banking systems, like a Credit Suisse or UBS. They have the money, they have the size to have their own solution. And Avaloq, we focus on the private banks and the wealth managers.
Also, with APIs, which is also our strategy in the future, it's also for fintechs to connect. So fintechs are not necessarily banks, but they provide an added value for the end customer to extract information. So everything that's financial related.
Yeah, I would say so. So we're still got 6 minutes.
Responded to that?
Avaloq programming language. I mean, we talked about it previously. The official Avaloq programming language is PLSQL. It's called Avaloq script. It's super. I mean, I've been 15 years a software developer before I came here. I think it was fantastic that I had this background because right now, I mean, for me, it's super straightforward. It's very clear. It's understandable. Also, for someone who has a business background, I think it's. I mean, I can't do everything, obviously, but a lot of things are visual. I mean, we have our own. Our IDE, it's based on Eclipse. It's called ICE. It actually has a really, I don't know what it means, completely written out, but yes, it's called ICE. It's based on Eclipse, and I mean, there you can if you have a business rule engine, you can see when your business rule is triggered. So we build a lot of tools around this, visualization tools, helpers, integrated development environment. So yeah, but basically, I mean, we're looking for Java developers. We're looking for full stack developers, especially in consulting and digital transformation. We want full stack developers, basically, that can also talk to customers and come to these live streams and talk about it.
In our team, we look for people that don't have only one skill set. We're looking for people that are very passionate about technologies, that they don't just say, hey, just do Java. No, you need to know how to do Java, a little bit of MySQL, a little bit
we
of
both
web.
come from PHP. We're both very strong on
PHP. And
Java.
As long as you're passionate, there's always going to be somebody in our team or our division that's going to help you out to get to the next step. And we help each other a lot. If somebody's stuck at the customer, they give us a call and we help. That's how that's our culture in that. Yeah.
And again, you learn all this in your first month at Avaloq in the academy. They'll teach you all the Avaloq stuff that you'll use on top of the knowledge that you already bring to us.
And I mean, the banks that are looking for Avaloq developers are the banks that we have already onboarded.
Basically. So yeah, and you need that certification if you want to work as an Avaloq developer. You need that certification that you get free if you come to us. Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic. I like it. Next.
Okay.
But okay, so I have programming experience, but I don't have a computer science degree. Can I still apply? Of course you can. Like for me, I mean, I told you I have a weird career path. When I was 16, I started doing web development in Luxembourg. When I was 17, I was at Interbrand doing 3D modeling. I almost went to art school. Stopped that. I almost went to art school, but instead I went to University of Miami in Florida. I started in engineering 2 years. But then I switched to business school. I got a bachelor in business administration, but my major was computer information systems. So I still have a technical major, but I'm not a master of science in computer science.
It doesn't
and my
matter.
master's degree is also in strategic management, but I've been working as a software developer for over 15 years. So if your passion and your motivation is software development, then I mean, no.
I mean,
especially in consulting,
we do have certain teams where there's a certain complexity going on.
Of course,
then of course we do have a bit of or we sometimes go in favor of those who do have a computer science degree. But generally, if you have any other degree and are just passionate about programming or not a
if you have side projects,
if
you've been involved with something, if you show us that you've have extracurricular activities where you're like, hey, I built this very basic app on my mobile phone, and we'll take each case case by case. I would assume. And we're looking forward to your applications because we have 128 jobs currently on the website.
We do have a lot
so
of
please, and we're building a wonderful new building. You can't see because it's dark outside, but we're building. So the FinTech hub we're building right here. It is right behind us. Okay. How are startups like Revolut changing the banking landscape?
Good question.
I mean,
that's one for you, right?
So I guess it's not concerning Avaloq at all, but banking
I think
system. It does.
So you answer and then I'll comment.
Sure.
You can comment after.
So Revolut and N26, I guess, are two interesting startups which are heavily funded today. They are exceptionally good retail banks because they don't have a lot of legacy systems. Most of the banks have legacy system for 40, 50 years, and they are starting from scratch, so their operational cost is really low. In that case, they are changing the world because instead of having an army of computer scientists to build up things since the 70s and also maintaining it, they have 18 to 20 engineers in one location, and they build something from scratch and they evolve it. The problem with N26 and Revolut is it's doing some banking operation, but not all of them, and it's quite limited. It's probably in the next 10 years it's going to get a little bit deeper. Our clients, for example, in Avaloq, are doing corporate banking, which is anything from payments to trading and so forth. If you have Revolut or N26, you cannot trade today, if I remember well, and because the platform is only mainly done for payments. But it's of course changing the landscape because it costs less. It's easier to the customer. With an iPhone, you can open an N26 retail banking account in a couple of minutes, and you can pay everywhere. So they are doing something that traditional banks were not doing for years, and now they're catching up to them. So it's always in an industry the normal way.
So I guess Credit Suisse is building something similar. Bancaire has something also. I mean, I think these products are great because, I mean, they're pushing traditional banks to increase their innovation and their spending in digital services, and we're in the market of selling digital services or building these. So for us, it's great. I mean, I love the challenge, and also, I mean, they're disruptive technology, and I think they're doing a great job. And again, motivating the other banks to really get on board and just to step up their game. I mean,
Especially
obviously,
for banks who have been a safe haven for so long, and they were,
but that's also one of the advantages. I mean, a bank, you don't have to worry about your money disappearing at any time because they're established. They're brick and mortar. They exist. You can go there and you can complain. You can call up. They will talk to you on the phone. I don't know. I saw there was a data breach, and there's no helpline. You write like a message or chatbot or something. If you lost 80,000 francs, then I don't know how I would feel if I cannot talk to a human being, or you just never know. But I love how they're pushing the traditional banks to really step up their game and increase their services. I think we're down to our, there's a lot of questions.
Is there any training that Avaloq provides? That's already.
So you guys are going to cut us off, right, when we've talked too much, or you're just letting us go? Okay. What did you just skip one?
Avaloq sounds like a super fun and innovative company. You're awesome. Thank you for your sharing. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you so much.
I think that's one of our wives or spouses.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone.
Maybe the next question.
It's not even a question. That's a statement. Okay, next. Okay. Well, thank you very
much.
Thank you.
That's lovely. Thanks. We are having fun.
Are you all experts in finance?
I mean, I've worked in a bank before, but I wouldn't say
I haven't worked in a bank. I work with financial market data. I understand that really well, but no, absolutely not. You will become that expert because we will train you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And no, I mean, we're looking for talents. We're not looking for. And actually, if I get a CV from someone who was previously at a bank, I'm not always that excited about it. I'm more excited about the diamond in the rough, the person who's a hacker who just has cool ideas and wants to change something. If you've been 10 years in a bank, I'm not sure how much innovation.
It depends on which department we're talking about.
It totally depends.
We're talking about consulting, where we're really trying to get people from outside thinking out of the box traditionally. But there are other departments where you need to have a good.
Oh yeah, if you're working on corporate actions and trading, yes, absolutely.
So you can be a finance expert as well in Avaloq in general.
I mean,
but you don't have to be.
Looking from a recruiting perspective, I can say that the business analyst positions usually come with a certain degree of experience. So they're usually people who have worked within the field somewhere. It doesn't necessarily need to be a bank. So concerning the business analysis, but when I look at the engineers, they have worked everywhere in so many different company and topics, so that really doesn't we look at each person individually and always interested in people that are different. Next, are there internships in consulting? Oh, that's a hard
one.
well,
you're my boss, you say yes.
Yes. I mean, we can create ones, why not?
That's actually how it works at Avaloq.
That's true. You come and then we make a place.
Come, make a good impression about yourself. Show that you really have a lot of energy and you want to move and change things. And we're going to change stuff. And we'll talk to Michel about that.
So when we did Hack Zurich, we actually had one who wanted to do it, but then he pulled out. I spent a lot of time building up that position for him. So maybe you won't let me down. I'm kidding. That's horrible.
But generally maybe on an internship topic. So we are unfortunately not very huge on internships. The reason being that the organization is quite complex and it usually takes more than an internship to really understand. I mean, as said, you would get a lot of training from the academy, etc. Of course, we can make it work.
We do have graduate programs, so
yes, we do have graduate programs. They're usually more business oriented. So if you're more interested in consulting from a business point of view, or
so they usually spend like a couple of weeks with us. Like the last two they came into our office, they worked with us for about a month, but then they're moving around. They're learning each department, each area, and also going to our business process outsourcing centers, and really getting to know the company from within.
Yes, absolutely.
And then
but internships, if we have, usually are on the website, so you should definitely have a look at that. And we have the corporate graduate program again next year, and we will probably start accepting applications from April on. We know it's a bit late, so we're thinking about if we should get it up earlier. But
yeah, let's
we're not sure.
Start the dialogue. Like we'll put up our contact details after this, and I mean, please talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. What are the top 3 parts in the life of an Avaloq? The top 3 parts. I mean, I guess there's
sleeping well, eating well, and talking to your clients,
enjoying life.
The top 3 parts. I think if you're looking at the joys when you go to see a client, you identify his problem, you provide a solution or not. You can also say, I don't have a solution, and go, oh. But that's the first step. The second part is when you win the contract. That's great. It really feel with your team super happy. And when you finish a project and it all went smoothly, or you really worked hard the last mile, like not sleeping for 2 or 3 days, and everything works perfectly, I think those are really great moments that you celebrate, not individually.
It actually works, and it's super rewarding. There's no better feeling than a year or a year and a half before finalizing and not crashing. How can I join?
So as mentioned before, we do have a lot of engineering positions at the moment up, where we also accept applications from junior engineers, I would say. So definitely have a look at that. Also business analysis positions, sometimes internships, but also the corporate graduate program for summer next year.
Yeah. So our website, I guess, is it Avaloq.careers, actually?
Avaloq.com/careers.
I thought we had like a fancy careers domain, but okay.
No, maybe we can work on that.
We have Avaloq.academy next time.
Next time.
How big are the teams that you send on your consulting projects? I mean, it varies. It can be from, I mean, we have a project on the 6th floor that it consumes almost the whole company. Maybe you've heard about it. But also, I mean, I often go alone, or I go in a team of 2, 3 people. Often we're also combined with other consultants from different companies. So, I mean, we basically have more projects than we can handle. So we work with partners. We have platinum, gold, silver partners that we work with closely. And then usually you have 2, 3 Avaloq guys, and then the other consultants from other companies, and we just work together. So teams can be, I mean, the ones that come from Avaloq are usually 1 or 2, 3 people, and then you have a nice mix from other companies, and also the banks. I mean, the banks, the people that work on the Avaloq platform at the bank, they also are certified. I mean, they can do a lot of things themselves. They just get us in there for security and just making sure that they're doing it right. Guidance.
It also depends on what phase of the project we are going. If you're selling it and identify the problems, you can be 2, 3 people and analyzing the thing. Then you can grow up, and then at the end, when you deliver, you go a little bit. Yeah, it really depends on.
It really depends.
It's very flexible.
It really depends. So from alone to a whole team or a whole army that consumes half the company. Okay, thank you guys. It was insightful.
Wow, great. Thank you very much.
We tried hard.
Okay, I think you have too many Avaloq people on the screen. Okay. Do you work with freelance engineers? Not really.
Not really.
Because banking is highly critical, highly safe environment. There's a lot of background checks to go into this. Customers vet you intensely. So it'd be really hard to work with freelancers. I mean, obviously it's possible, but it's not something we're doing right now. And I don't think there's a market for that, because, I mean, we also hire externals to work with us. We work with them at the customer, but we also hire them to work with us here. I guess that would be the closest thing to a freelance consultant. They're partners, So they're freelance but partners, and but we work with small partners too.
So we have like a partner program as well in order to work with us on different projects. And as you say, Christophe, you need to also show that you don't have any criminal records because you're working in the finance industry. It's very
we do
specific.
have a lot of regulatory requirements on that.
Because imagine anyone having access to your bank account. I mean, at the end of the day, a bank, what is it? A database. You know, you got to be very careful what you're doing. You got to be careful who you give access to, and but it's a very exciting area. I like it a lot. I've enjoyed my time very much here with my great colleagues. So I think we are done with the questions.
Wow.
One more. Okay.
How do you become one of these partners? So we have a partner management inside of Avaloq.
Yeah.
Maybe you can shoot us an email afterwards and we can find it for you. Actually, I don't know. So as I'm doing it at the client side, I don't know. I'll take the question and I'll send you a response.
So I'll just share the screen to get our contact details, and then we are.
No,
Oh no,
have,
sorry. Okay, but we're way over
to
time.
do.
Yes, now we move over
but
to
I will do it fast.
Okay. We'll be fast. Here we go. That will be...
Now, of course, we also want to sell Avaloq a bit to you guys, as we know that we do have a lot of competition out there on the market. But generally, I can just say that if you want to, why are you laughing?
I was just showing me.
So generally, I can just say that if you want to grow with a company that keeps on reinventing itself, I think we are definitely the place to be. You can definitely take on responsibility here. This is part of our culture, and have your own project. So it doesn't matter, the seniority level or when you came into the company. For us, it's really important.
So the cryptocurrency hub, the crypto hub initiative from Avaloq, that was actually an employee idea, and that was something that he pushed. And so really, if you have a cool idea, go for it, and we'll support you.
And we will support it. And I think that's a really good example of how we work together as well. And also I can say that we have brilliant colleagues. So what I really like about Avaloq is that I usually feel like I'm the dumbest one in the room.
No.
But it keeps on challenging you and keeps you going.
That drives you to.
Yeah. And also nice, I guess, is the flat hierarchy. So even though we have 2,200 employees, we are still quite flat on that. And personal opinions are heard and respected. And we also can offer this global setting and to work with different cultures in general. I think that's really nice as well. Yeah. And maybe a few examples on how we collaborate, but also how we party together. But here in the background, you can see a picture from our community conference that we do every year, also with our partners, with our clients. So everyone is there to come together, talk about the latest trends and what we're doing as Avaloq to tackle them. And also a few pictures from our company parties once a year. And also from the Hack Zurich last year, so you can actually see Christoph on that picture as well.
Handing over the money.
He wanted to be even more visible in this presentation.
That was your picture. You brought it.
Yeah, so that's a bit about that. So you see, it's not all work all the time. So we can also have fun together, generally. And maybe we can jump on to the next slide. So we also mentioned that. So we rather hire for motivation and only skills. So for us, it's really important that you show us that you are interested to start your career in the fintech area, that you believe in the purpose that we're working towards. And that you're also able kind of to manage change, because we're quite a dynamic company, and things change every day. So if you expect a day where everything is the same, I guess we're probably not able to offer you that. And we also work with agile methodologies and an agile mindset. And we want you to challenge us and bring us to the next level, no matter the seniority level. So this is also why I think that Avaloq is a great place to also start your career, because you can also from the beginning already bring in your ideas, and we're ready to hear it.
Another question: Scrum or Kanban? Both. Both, depending on the project.
Good. So I guess do we have another slide?
No, we just have our contact details.
Okay,
so please feel free to reach out to any of us. I mean, Alex, my boss. if you need anything important, and I'm the fun one. No, I'm kidding. I mean, ask any of us your questions. We'll make sure. I mean, if you want to know anything more in depth, let us know. If you want one of those sandboxes I talked about earlier, please let us know. We'll work together with you. I mean, if you want to have lunch with us sometime, face to face. I mean, we're really, when we're not at the customer, we're very approachable.
Yes.
When we're not at a customer,
Christoph and I, we are not paid for that, so we're really happy to just give more information to anybody that could be passionate or interested. So really come to us. And
Yes.
Because at one point we were young and passionate.
I'm still young, Christoph.
Still
I'm
young.
still
and
young.
You
passionate.
guys
Yeah.
are still passionate,
Yes,
I
we
hope.
love it every day.
Or you can meet us if you don't want to get in touch and you feel like that's a bit too much to begin with. You can just meet us at the Polymesse next April, or participate at Hack Zurich or come by at Hack Zurich and talk to us there.
So we're looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you so much for giving
Should
us the
stop
time.
sharing the screen and say hi.
Yeah, I mean we're down to 12 viewers, so maybe they all left.
I
So
don't know.
stop sharing screen, and we'll say goodbye. This will totally be made into a GIF, and then I'm not sure.
It's a black
what's happening.
screen.
Oh well, I went too far. Oh no, that's why. Ooh.
Oh.
I think it ended.
I probably just
Is that
ended
it?
it.
No, not yet, but I mean,
No, I'm looking.
They can see.
close to window.
Can you... Sorry guys, we'll say bye-bye. Okay.
There we go. Hey,
See ya, guys.
bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hear from you.
Yes.
Don't be shy.
Don't be
Apply.
shy.
See ya, guys.
I cannot bring that anymore. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.